All right, let's jump right into it. We're about to tackle what is, honestly, one of the most cryptic, most talked about verses in the entire Bible, Revelation 17, verse 5. Our goal here? We're going to crack this code. We'll look at the original language, the symbolism, and I think you'll see it's actually less of a riddle and, well, more of a divine expose than you might think. So here it is. This is the name, written right on the woman's forehead in John's vision. I mean, look at it. It's a mouthful, right? It's long, it's kind of intimidating. Honestly, sounds like something straight out of a heavy metal album. But don't let that throw you. Every single word here is a clue. It's a charge in, like a heavenly indictment. And this is the central puzzle we're going to piece together. Okay, so right off the bat, this brings up two huge questions. First, what in the world does this name actually mean? And second, and this is just as important, why on a forehead? Why is it displayed so publicly? See, the location here is just as significant as the name itself, so let's actually start there. Because to really get the name, you first have to understand the billboard it's written on. In the Bible, the forehead is so much more than just a piece of skin. It's a statement. It's a public sign of a person's ultimate allegiance, who they really belong to. The original Greek word used here is metopon, and it represents the mind, your thoughts, your will, your very identity. So putting a name on the metopon, that's a huge deal. It's a public declaration of who you belong to and what you serve. It's basically the one place where your innermost devotion becomes totally visible to the rest of the world. And you know what? We see this exact pattern all through the Bible. If you go back to the Old Covenant, the high priest literally wore holiness to the Lord on his forehead. He was marked for God. Fast forward to the New Covenant, and what do we see? God's people are sealed with his name on their foreheads. So when this woman shows up marked with Babylon, it's not an accident. It's a direct, deliberate contrast. It's like an anti-seal, a mark of rebellion, a conscious choice. And right here, you can see the two sides laid out so clearly. On one hand, you've got the seal of God. That's a mark of divine ownership, of faithfulness. And on the other hand, you have this name, Babylon. It's a public sign of rebellion, of false worship, of spiritual corruption. The point is, this woman isn't just confused or lost, no. She has actively chosen this identity. But wait, it gets even more serious. The Greek word for written here is fascinating. It's geigrammenon. Now, for any of you grammar nerds out there, this is in the perfect tense. What does that mean? It implies an action that happened in the past, but its results are permanent and ongoing. So it's not just a temporary label. It literally means having been written, it remains written. Think about that. It's like a permanent final judgment. The verdict is in, and it has been officially and permanently recorded. Okay, so now that we get why it's on the forehead, let's actually break down the indictment itself. Let's look at the name piece by piece, starting with the most famous one on the list. So Babylon. When the Bible says Babylon here, it's not just talking about the ancient city in, modern-day Iraq. It's way bigger than that. Biblically, Babylon is a symbol. It's a whole spiritual system. It represents all of humanity's pride, starting way back with the Tower of Babel, this attempt to build our own way to heaven, to reach God without God. It's the ultimate symbol of organized rebellion against him, the peak of false worship. But here's the thing. This woman isn't just a citizen of the system. Oh no, she's at the very heart of it. She's the source. And the name continues, spelling out her role and her incredible influence on the entire world. So the next part of her title is He meter ton pornon. That translates to the mother of harlots. Now, in the prophetic language of the Bible, whenever you see words like harlotry or prostitution, it's almost always a symbol. It's not about physical acts, it's about spiritual unfaithfulness. It's about chasing after false gods and idols, basically committing spiritual adultery against the one true God. And this woman, she's described as the mother of it all, the source, the originator. And the final charge on this indictment, it's kai ton bedelgima ton tesges, which means, and of the abominations of the earth. That Greek word bedelgma, it means something utterly detestable, a profound moral impurity that's often linked directly to idolatry. So you see the connection? This system doesn't just promote false worship, it actually gives birth to every single detestable action and moral corruption that pollutes the entire world. All right, now we've got to circle back to the very first word in that long name, because honestly, it's the one that causes the most confusion. But I promise you, once you understand this one word, it unlocks the whole thing. And you'll see this was never about a riddle we were supposed to solve.
That word is mysterion, which we translate as mystery. But here's the key. In the Bible, this word does not mean a spooky, unsolvable puzzle. In fact, it pretty much means the exact opposite. A mysterion is a sacred secret, a divine truth that was once hidden but has now been revealed by God.
So think of it this way. A biblical mystery is a truth that you could never, ever figure out on your own. It's not something you can discover with human wisdom or scientific investigation. It has to be unveiled by God himself. And that revelation, well, it almost always comes through the gospel. And we see this idea of a revealed mystery all over the New Testament. For example, the idea that salvation was for all people, not just one ethnic group. Paul calls that a mystery that has now been revealed. Or how about the incredible truth that Christ actually dwells in believers? That's another revealed mystery. Even God becoming human in Jesus Christ, that's called the great mystery of godliness. See? These aren't unsolved riddles. They are foundational, core truths that God has now made plain for everyone. So let's put it all together. When the verse says Mystery Babylon, it's not presenting us with a riddle to solve. It's making a declaration. It's as if it's saying, listen up. Pay attention. Here is the revealed truth about the spiritual system we call Babylon. It's God pulling back the curtain, exposing this corrupt, idolatrous world system for exactly what it is. The secret is out, the truth is revealed. And that, really, brings us to the final thought. This entire intense vision forces us to ask a really personal question, doesn't it? We saw two opposing marks, the name of God on one side and the name of Babylon on the other. So if the forehead represents our mind, our identity, and our deepest devotion, it just begs the question, what name is being written on our foreheads day by day through the things we think and the choices we make? And that's the revealed truth that matters most of all.